There we go. Welcome to the stream. Name is Ace. I like drawing. That's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be finishing our mesh from yesterday. This is our second character. We're using these meshes as reference for a webcomic that I am putting together, or it's already written. I've written an entire volume, and we're just doing the art for each character. This is a government agent, second character who appears in the comic book. He is a portly man. We are working on. Oh, we're going to be tweaking some things here and there. I think he's a little too long. I think by my estimates, which I just did right before I turned on the stream here, I measured him. He is about 8 heads tall. So I'm thinking I should shorten his legs a little bit, but we're going to get right into this. Looking around, hope you're having a great day. It's going to be pretty hot. Again, it's already warm. I was just outside. It's quite warm. I think we might get some rain from those storms today. See how that goes. But yeah, I hope you're having a great day. Hope that you're having a get through the hump day. If it's hump day for you, that's Wednesday. For those who don't really call Wednesday that, I don't know. But yeah, I'm doing great. I like doing this. This is very fun. Oh, well, apparently it turns out that UVs aren't really that complicated in this program. So I mean that my UVs for the body are done on my first mesh. Now we just got to UV and unwrap the clothing. I can't show it. I'm not even sure. I'm not sure if I'm ever going to be able to show that process because the body has to be naked in order for me to do that. But and I'm not. I'm pretty sure that Twitch will not allow that. Not like that one bit. So that might be a portion of the workflow that I won't be able to completely show. Um, but I mean, I'm considering if there is interest in like when I get more proficient at this, I'm gonna do I was thinking about doing like a nice little tutorial for people to do to do a character mesh, and I think that would be good, if you want to learn. I'll probably put that on YouTube one day. Sit down and do a man and a woman, and then eventually creatures because I like doing creatures as well. But I'd be very open to doing that. So look forward to that in the future. Well, I'm gonna wait until I know a little bit more about what I'm doing. I don't know everything about the program. I just try to look for the straightest path to get to what I want. Right now it's people because we're going to be drawing them a lot in our webcomic, and I want to make sure that the art is nice and consistent, and it won't be this far into realism. It'll be a little more semi, but I like what I'm putting together so far. I mean, at least I do. You got to be your own fan and critic at some point, right? I think that's good. I think that looks a little bit more realistic. What we did yesterday is I rounded out his little nubs here. That's going to be his heel. We're going to extrude the feet out that way. That's the goal. So now, what we're going to be doing is, I think what I said yesterday was we're going to tweak some of the shape a little bit, make sure that everything is nice and touched up. We're going to touch up some things here and there. His inner thigh should come out a little bit more. So we're gonna work on that a little bit. I'm just gonna pull that out a little bit hopefully without destroying what I did so far. We're gonna take the grab tool. We're gonna pull it out this way. All right. Uh, just a little bit. I'm pretty sure we won't have any problems up here. If we do, he has underwear on, so it ain't gonna be a big deal. Well, let me. My notes are tattered here. Had to fix them. Papers were all over the place. I do take notes, my own work, just to get a nice solid workflow. Eventually, I'm in the process of drilling it in so we can flow through this a little bit better. Even without the notes, it takes me normally a week, but I've been breaking that flow up into a very piecemeal here and there, a couple hours a day of doing a mesh on stream. I'm working a little bit slower, and we're doing it all in Blender, which I wasn't doing before. My previous workflow, uh, which took me about a week to get a good mesh together, and I would probably include rigging in there. Maybe 2 weeks. Oh, sorry, my was Windows update. Of course, it starts when I start streaming. I would have just restarted. I should have just restarted. But anyways, just restarted before I started the stream. But anyway, we'll just hopefully we won't get another notification. Anyway, my previous workflow was with ZBrush and Substance Painter, and we'll say about 2 weeks to get everything done. That was with the most basic of clothing though, something like this. But just imagine being fully covered with really basic clothing. There's some clipping issues here. We'll probably fix that at some point. I'm just bringing the shape of the calves out a little bit, by the way, while I'm jabbering. I'm jacking my jaws here. Wait, that didn't sound right. Sorry. Anyways, I didn't mean it that way. Anyway, yeah, I'm trying to adjust the shape of the calves with Substance Painter and ZBrush, as I was saying. But I don't have any licenses for that because they recently moved to a subscription, and I don't want to pay any more subscriptions. I canceled so many subscriptions because I just had too many, and I don't even really use these subscriptions. I only have one subscription, and that is because I do play MMOs. I currently play Final Fantasy 11, and I pay for that subscription regularly. It's my one of my favorite games of all time. I think I enjoy it more than 14. There's nothing wrong with 14. I think I talked about 14 yesterday, but I like 11 more. So let's see what we got here. That's the only subscription I have. Besides just some like very small, uh, low costing, like two other things for computer programs like VPN, or I have a VPN subscription. I have Word. That's what I wrote my program on. It's Word, or sorry, not program. My webcomic. I wrote that in Microsoft Word. I started it in uh Notepad. I wrote in Notepad, but I can format it a little bit better in Word, so I'll pay the yearly subscription for that. That's basically it. Most of my subscriptions are done though. I had all the streaming services, but I don't really watch things that much these days because I've been really focused on my art. I'm sure I've said that before. I promise you, I don't like repeating myself over and over. I'm just shooting the stuff here, all right? But I felt that it was relevant to what I was talking about, so I'll say things too. I'll say things that I've said before, I'm sure. I probably will continue to do so. I'm looking at his calves here. I think they're a little too thick. I'm trying to I was adjusting the shape, but now I kind of want to keep the shape and adjust the size a little bit. Make them a little bit. I think the roundness should start from down here where the ankle is, and then start coming out. Here I have it kind of juts out a little bit here, which needs to be adjusted, and then the round muscle, the calf muscle here, kind of just stops here. But I wanted to kind of integrate more smoothly into the leg, maybe like right here. So we're gonna try to do that. I think, I mean, if I can get away with showing a little bit of every process without having to, because what I did was, the way I did it was for UVs and baking was I cut the character in half, right? I cut the character in half and then did I put seams in the character. What normally happens is you put a seam, you put a seam around the head, right? Around the neck, and then a seam from here to here, and a seam from the middle of the forehead all the way back. And then of course you put a seam all the way down his back, in between his butt right here, through his little his taint, I guess. I don't know the scientific term for that. Uh, and you have it stop somewhere in there, and then you put a seam here. You put a seam here around his wrist, and then you put a seam alongside his hand and feet, the feet the same way, and around his ankle. That was the best way that you can unwrap it, because I kept when I was unwrapping it yesterday, it was putting the body and the leg together, and it also gave me some insight on how to do the topology as well, because my topology was not perfect, and that's where it sort of comes into play when you start when you start doing your UVs and unwrapping. It was very very minor things, but now I know it gave me a better understanding of where to or how to retopologize it. So already we have some things that we can improve upon for this mesh here, which I'm very excited about. We're getting there. We just got to drill it in to our heads here, drill it into our head, and then eventually we'll just be blowing through these. That's my goal. My goal is just to just create something out of nothing in a very short amount of time. And you can look and be entertained by, or dare I say, learn from me. I don't really consider myself a teacher because I'm not really an expert, but it's it's definitely very entertaining and learning moment for me. It's already made me. I think sculpting has actually improved my drawing overall. I'm going to show you an example. This is you've seen a my drawing, and if you haven't, it's in my archive. Okay, I'm pretty sure the VOD's not up. But I drew this before I started learning sculpting, and this is I didn't really put like a lot of effort into this. I drew it. You see, I've already started experimenting with the hatching here. It's a little sloppy, but this is the guy. This is like my idea of the guy here. He's wearing something completely different in this thing here. Um, but that is just something that I threw together as a concept. As you can see, I kind of transfer that here. He's not, I mean, yeah, I try to make it this, more realistic, but this is an idea of what I was trying to go for here. He doesn't have his hair yet, but it's going to be like, it's going to have a little, uh, male pattern hair loss here because he's like in his 50s or whatever. It's going to have the sideburns. I'm going to put the sideburns there. I'm going to try to give him the gray hair. But basically, yeah, so you can see that what I was trying to go for here and here. I still have to adjust his eyes though before we continue. But you can kind of see um, some of the details I incorporated from this basic drawing here into this, and that's that was before I started learning, and then after, of course, is what you can find in the archive. It is the girl with the cat eyes I drew. That is the after. I've made some improvement, I think, since that drawing I just showed you. And it might not be, completely because of sculpting. I don't know. Maybe I just approach things differently now. I don't know, but I feel like it has. I'm going to attribute some of that into sculpting. So if you have the time to learn this medium, I would say do it. The time and the will to do it, of course. You never know what it might do for you. It give you a better understanding of anatomy, and you can easily give yourself a reference if you need it. For anything that you might want to draw. It's good for that at least. You don't have to spend, if you're looking for images and Google or from other people or pictures or whatever, you don't have to spend time doing that. You just do this one time, and then you can just pose it. Whenever you come, if you want to draw this character again, you can come back and just pose them differently. I know there's just a lot of people out there who draw similar or the same character repeatedly. There's nothing wrong with that. It give you the opportunity to perfect drawing whatever you're drawing. I've tried that. There's only so many times where I'm like, okay, I gotta draw something else. I can't do what like what people when people draw the same thing over and over. I can't really. Well, I can, but it doesn't really interest me. There's a point where I'm going to check out, so I have to draw different things. Of course, we're going to be drawing a lot of humans, so we'll see how that goes. We're going to be drawing a lot of humans, but as long as they're not all the same, I guess there'll be some kind of enjoyment out of it. You know, they're all my most of my characters are pretty different. You know, almost radically different. That's hopefully that will break up some of the monotony of drawing so many human characters, and we'll also get really good at it. So that's hopefully anyway. That's the goal to be get really good at it. It's always a bonus. But eventually we're gonna have to draw something else. I can't wait to start drawing creatures, and hopefully they're. I mean, they're not gonna be humanoid creatures because I mean that would be really easy to do, right? Drawing humans, it's your creature. That kind of transfers to everything else. But no, I want to draw some really freaky stuff. Okay, really creaturey designs. Not the type of creatures that you would typically find from people who draw humans, but something a little interesting. So we'll see how that goes. I think its legs are a little too bumpy. Maybe we can smooth them out a little bit. Let's see. Smooth. Okay, so what we did was we got the calf muscle to come down like that. And then we got this was the small one. This one will kind of stop like somewhere in the middle of the leg, and then your foot will go down. We brought the legs out some, and we rounded out the outside. That's what I was doing while I was flapping my gums. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to smooth out some of these shapes that we have created. We're going to use the full on smooth brush, and I'm going to beef it up some. I'm going to put up to like 400. Okay, and we're going to try to smooth out as many of these little wrinkles as we can, because this is a rather smooth area. So we're going to try to do that. We're going to try to smooth it. Of course, we have our little mistake here that we fixed, that we covered up. We were going to wait until we remeshed it, and maybe we should wait until we remesh it to do this part. Other than that, I think the only thing left that I want to tweak before we move on is the eyelids, because that's something that it was on the to-do list, and we haven't done it yet. So we want to make sure I do that before we get too far into this, which is basically at this point just creating the low poly mesh, because we're almost there. And I want the eyes to look like I want them to look before we move on to that. So we're going to try to smooth out this real quick, and I'm going to take a look at this. Take a look at this character's eyes, and then we are going to go on. I'm going to leave this little indentation alone. That's where our little alteration is. I'm gonna try to alterate it further. That was not meant to be a Darth Vader quote. Okay, that just popped into my head. I'm sorry. Anyway, pray I don't alter it further. I just realized that I quoted Darth Vader. That's all I'm saying. I'm sorry. Anyway, we're going to smooth. Hold on, let me look. I'm gonna grab a little. I got all my relevant references ready today. Okay, so we don't have to be digging in our folders. Actually, I don't have my eye. I don't have any eyes, so I got to do that. I'm sorry. Screwed up. I screwed up again. Please forgive me. I done goofed. Does this have? This doesn't have the. Oh, it does have the cut. There's a little cut there. I don't know. Maybe he got. Maybe a crab snipped him. Maybe he got cut with a knife right there. That didn't happen. This is more of a planar type character than a an action man. He does have his own scenes where he has to do things himself, but he's typically the guy who makes the plans. He's the guy. He's the man with the plan. He has to spin a lot of plates during the course of the story. He's a pragmatist. That's really the events of the story kind of force him to be. But typically he would plan things out. And I guess his arc in the story would be just him trying not to lose control of all the things that he's planning. Because a lot of things happen that are outside of control. So he has to kind of keep adjusting and adjusting. He's good enough to do it, but the question is he in over his head? Let's okay. I'm looking at some. Okay, now I have a diesel leg here, and I have a fat leg here, and they also did a 3D scan of somebody who's uncircumcised, and it's like right there. I'm trying to crop it out of the picture. I don't want to see that while I'm looking at the leg. Okay, it's not relevant. I should blur that out. I should put it in Photoshop and blur it out myself. Of course, off stream. You're not gonna be seeing anybody's anteater on stream here. Pretty sure Twitch will definitely not like that. Neither will I. So we're gonna smooth. I'm gonna smooth this part out too. Okay, just a little bit. Okay, I remember now. We had the back of the knees here that we had to adjust. So we're gonna work on that. I'm looking at the side here. We don't have everything that we need for that part here. We do have to see this little thing here. This should be thicker. So we're going to thicken it. And we're not going to go all the way down. We're going to thicken this, and then we're just going to leave it. There. That should be enough. Now we're going to smooth it. All right. I'm going to increase the indentations here from the raised part of his leg. We can do the front. There's like that little dip right in the knee where the kneecap is. We can increase that a little bit, and then we can smooth it. We're gonna smooth it. We're smoothing it. It's smooth. It's smooth now. I smoothed it, and we're gonna smooth out his little quad there. It's still got a little. That's fine. He's a big guy. It's not really his legs aren't super toned out, so I guess you can have a little bit of loose meat there. I don't know. I don't know if that's a thing. I don't see that in my model, so we I don't want to get too creative. We're gonna try to get the anatomy right because we're gonna be using this. You know, if I ever decide to put him in shorts for whatever reason, I don't think he ever wears shorts in the story. But if I decide to have a character of a similar build, I guess I could use this guy as a reference and just make the head different, right? And then I can use his muscular tone, his muscular or fat tone as a reference. I saw a little dent there, so I wanted to cover it. It's a very strong dent too, and we're going to smooth out the lines so that way there is no dent. I still see there's something there, but it's barely noticeable. But since we're all looking at it, you can see it, so we know it's there. Once you know it's there, it's like it's hard to not see it. It's okay. How about this? Take that. Okay. We got to do the back of the leg. Do we have a back of the leg? Yes, we do. Because the calf muscle here, it's going to come into the back of his leg a little bit there, and into his hamstring. We kind of have that a little bit here, but it's not perfect. It's not perfect. It's not 100% accurate. We'll say that. It's not. I don't expect it to be perfect, but you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm trying to say. All right, know it. I know it. So let's just continue. We're going to. I'm seeing that this is a little bulbous, so I'm trying to push it in to make it a little straight, without deforming the leg too much. We're gonna look at it from some different angles here. All right, now let's go on and get this going. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lower the radius. And you know what? While we're up here, let's go ahead and save it. I think we're doing okay, and we don't really need to adjust anything. Yeah, we're gonna make too many mistakes, so let's go ahead and save it. There's no reason for us to go back now. I only really do that when I'm not sure about something, when I'm trying to learn something. Like when I was doing the UVs, I put it in a different save file, all the changes in a different save file, and then I learned there. And then once I got the hang of it, then I saved it. But uh, and I was gonna do that so that I did it that way. So if there was any way I could show it on stream, I could just do the whole process. But like I said, the body's gonna be naked, so show. I can't really show it, to be honest. I wish I could, but I can't because it is part of the process. But like I said, if I ever get around to, I'm open to doing a tutorial, and showing the whole process. I'm pretty sure I can do that on YouTube. I don't know YouTube's policy with naked bodies, but I'm pretty sure I could do this on YouTube and not have a problem with it. YouTube won't have a problem. So the whole process will be up somewhere. Okay, that's my goal. I'm gonna make sure that I know exactly what I am doing before I do it. I'm not gonna do it now because I don't have a full process, but I don't mind showing what I have done, how I create my characters, and maybe that'll help somebody out there who's interested in doing the same thing. But that won't be that's gonna be like a far out thing in the future. I'm not gonna focus on it now. My biggest focus is getting this webcomic out because I've been working on it for years now, and I really want I don't want this development to be years later. You know, I don't want it to stretch on for more years. You know, I'm trying to get this out. I'm trying to do pages this year. What am I doing here? Really messed up the back of the legs here. I'm gonna go back. Sorry for that. Story's ready to go. All right. Just need some art. Uh Am I going about this the right way? I don't know. I don't feel comfortable with this. I don't feel confident in this approach. Of course, we can't go back all the way. Hang on. Okay. Hmm. Okay, this should be a subtle bump back here, right? There's a line coming back here. This is what I'm trying to create, but it's not working out. I don't have my undo history at 256 anymore. It's at 32. So we're gonna have to just make the alterations ourselves. We're gonna have to correct it ourselves instead of just hitting undo. Don't worry, one day I'm gonna get proficient enough to where it's just down to 5, and whatever happens, happens. That's my goal, and it kind of helps the performance of the system when you have very high polygon count, which is we're slowly approaching. Well, we're not slowly. We're quickly approaching a higher polygon count. We still have the feet and the hands to do, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Then we can start doing the retopology of this. Probably I'll probably do the top portion of it, but the mid his butt and his crotch is going to be done off stream, and then I think what I don't know. I'm considering it. Like I might do some of it on stream, but we're going to work on mesh number 3, regardless of I decide to do this on stream or not. But we're definitely going to have mesh number 3 ready. We just need to get to 7. We need 7 so we can start doing pages, character turnarounds and pages. That'll be lots of 2D art. That'll be the variety that I am promising. Okay, we do a lot of 3D art, and that like I said, that's because we're trying to drill in our workflow into our head, so we don't need notes anymore, so we can do things with a little more confidence and get better at it, of course, as well. That's our goal, of course. The only way to do that is just to keep doing it and learn from what you're doing the last time into your next one. Does that make sense? I've kind of worded that kind of weird, didn't I? All right. Okay. So we're gonna follow our leg anatomy reference here. The line is should be like this. Oh, first of all, why is it so thin? That was 3 undos. See, if we would have went to 5, then we would have had a problem, or beyond 5, I should say. Well, we're at 32, so it doesn't matter now. But one day we're going to be at 5, maybe even 1, maybe even 0. Like screw it. If I mess up, I'll just correct it. You don't really get undos in real life, right? When you're sculpting in real life, unless you got clay. I don't know. I guess you could just remold it, right? I don't know. Honestly, I don't know because I rarely worked with clay in my life. You know, Play-Doh. Play-Doh. I worked with Play-Doh. Does that count? Maybe it does. Maybe it doesn't. Specifically yellow Play-Doh, if you were wondering. Yellow, maybe blue. I don't think I've ever had green Play-Doh. I know somebody did. Somebody did, and I played with it, but I typically had yellow. I remember having yellow. I remember having red and blue, and I think that's the 3 colors. It was like a pack of 3 that it came with. Play with it until it dries, until it gets hard like a rock, and then you have to throw it away. Very unfortunate, very sad as a kid when you can no longer play with something. If you play with things, play with a toy or something. I don't know what to classify Play-Doh as. I don't think it's a toy. It's like a craft, right? It's a craft in the arts and crafts. So what I'm trying to do is pronounce that little muscle that goes into the calf, into the back of the leg. I'm using the clay strips to do that, which is going to add more lines to the area we just smoothed out, but we can just smooth it again. I just want to get the shape right. We're just gonna have to deal with it. I could bump up the strength as well, so we don't get all this sinewy looking area here. But since we bumped up the smoothing brush, we shouldn't have any problem smoothing it. That reminds me, I had some silly putty too, and I think in fifth grade, in my fifth grade class, our teacher taught us how to make our own silly putty out of chemicals. And I had the recipe, but I lost it. I wish I had kept it. Around that time, I think Flubber came out, and I was kind of like, I was like somebody who tried to like create things and build stuff. You know, I thought I thought I had the capability to build something. Like I made blueprints for a web shooter that I was so sure would work if I just had the parts. But I did build a grappling hook out of yarn. It did work. It's just it's yarn, but it's yarn. You can't swing on it, and because it'll break. And if you shot it into a tree, that amount of yarn that went into the tree, you're gonna lose that because it's gonna get tangled and you ain't gonna be able to get it back because trees are usually higher than kids. And yarn is actually gets amazingly a core activities. Welcome to the stream. I like drawing. I'm a hobbyist. I'm learning how to do 3D meshes. This is actually my second official mesh, and I use these as reference to create my. I'm gonna use these as reference to create my create a webcomic. I've already written an entire volume, and I'm designing the characters now. Yeah, I'm a doodler. I'm a doodler. I doodle things, and we're going to use these as reference eventually to design the characters and do hopefully do pages. My goal is to try to get this done before the end of the summer. If you need any Blender advice, let me know. I'm the go. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I'm learning how to do everything in Blender. I actually learned how to sculpt in ZBrush, but I don't have I don't have a license to ZBrush, and I don't have a and I don't want to do the subscription stuff as well as Substance Painter and all that stuff. I'm learning how to do everything in Blender, and I just learned how to do UVs and unwrapping yesterday. Not too big into sculpting, more traditional modeling, but still. Oh, okay. I don't want no, I don't want to pay any. I don't want any more subscriptions. I literally just got off of having a bunch of subscriptions to stuff. Okay, I'm trying to lower my subscription amount, and I don't want to. I just don't want to pay for that, and I don't. I also don't want to pay for an older license too because it's going to most likely come from a third party seller. Yeah, I think I agree. Most of the meat potatoes of what I did do was in Blender anyway. What I did was I sculpted it in ZBrush, I textured it in Substance Painter, and then I brought it over into Blender to do the hair because it was very easy for me to grasp hair in Blender than any other program that I've dabbled in. And rigging in Blender as well. I know how to rig it in Blender. I just got to brush up on that. But yeah, I mean, I was like, well, why don't I just do everything in Blender? So here we are. And there's not really much difference. There's not really much difference in so far. Anyway, I still have to uh, add textures. I kind of did that because you have to. When I imported it from Substance Painter to here, you still have to apply those textures. It doesn't just come with the textures on it. You have to get them and load them in. I kind of forget how to do that, but I'm gonna remember. That new skin. I have another. I have almost a full mesh, almost done. I had to. I'm just not streaming what I'm doing because I'm learning as I go. And he has to be naked for me to, unwrap him in UV and probably texture him too. And I'm pretty sure Twitch isn't going to like that very much. So some of the things I have to take offline for now. but I'm trying my best to show as much as the workflow as possible here. Right now, I'm just working on the back of these knees and trying to get it to look like the back of a knee, of course. But yeah, I'm enjoying doing everything in Blender so far. I mean, I don't know why I didn't just do that in the first place. I think you're I think you're doing way too much detail at too high resolution. This is yes, this is a high poly mesh, but we're going to do a low poly mesh right over top of this to really cut down this number. We can't actually do much. If I add collision to this, it's going to lag like a lot. So we're going to retopologize this. It looks like fat Kevin Spacey. I kind of see it. I kind of see it. Yeah. But yeah, we're not. This isn't going to be the final product. This is these details will be baked onto a lower poly mesh. We just have to create the low poly mesh. That's all. Yeah, you can't. I wouldn't try to animate in with this thing here. I wouldn't try to animate with this and oh, thank you for the follow, Core Activities. Really appreciate you. Um, yeah, I wouldn't try to animate or pose this because it's going to lag the system with this much here. So we're going to transfer these details. It's a longer process because in ZBrush you can make a low poly mesh with just a click of a button, and I've tried to get that same ability in this program with this add-on right here, Quad Remesh. But the problem with this is that it kind of deforms the mesh a little too much, and the quad count ends up being way higher, at least by maybe almost double of Z Remesher. This is supposedly made by the same people who made Z Remesher, but this does not work as well. So we have to do it manually. That's the best way to do it that I've figured out so far. Is just to do it manually. Mainly, and I'll show you in a second. Matter of fact, I'll show you right now. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna save it right now. I hope I closed them before I saved it. Truly don't know what state I left this character in. Okay, we got a little bit of not responding. Come on, just load it. Dang guy. Oh, he's not. I'm gonna turn him to the side. But anyways, this here is the lower poly mesh. Give me 1 second. I hope they don't get mad at me. Let's see. Pants, shirt. I'll just do that for now. But I'm gonna show you. Even Z Remesher, the inside Z Remesher was messing this part up here. Blender Studio offers free human base meshes. So if I had to do a human low poly, I'd use one of theirs and just shrink wrap it to the high poly. I was taking Maya's base human base mesh, altering it and then putting it into ZBrush at first, but since then I have learned a pretty easy and reliable method of just creating it just from the sphere. I didn't really grasp that at first when I first learned how to sculpt, but since then I've gotten really good at doing that, so I've been doing that. But yes, when Z remeshing in ZBrush here would deform this, and I did this manually, so you kind of so I can keep the shapes a lot better by doing it manually. So I'm gonna go with that, and that's pretty much all I wanted to show. This is typically he's gonna be wearing shoes, so I'm not really too concerned about this, and the details aren't baked on yet, but his toes and whatnot were fully were fully sculpted, but during the low poly I did not follow the form too well. That's something that I'm going to improve upon on our fat guy here. Oh, that's his poop. Sorry. Um, since there's no reason for me to, rig his toes or anything, this is what I just did that just for the form, just for the sake of it. He's never going to have his shoes off, so it doesn't really matter. But normally, I would sculpt all of his toes separately, but this time I didn't. I just did that because it wasn't important. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. We have to still got to tweak it. Yeah. Let's see. Open. Yeah, we're gonna go back to our. No, we're not gonna save it. Shoulders seem weird. Arms seem a bit too short. Yeah, I did. You know what? It's funny because I shortened his arms. I was thinking because I was trying to understand, like if it was at his sides that his palm should be right along where his groin is. I can't really test that until I rig it. And yeah, his head is not attached yet, so I can't increase that. That's definitely something I could work on. Shoulders seem weird. Yeah, that needs to be that does need to be adjusted. So yeah, we do have some tweaks to do. I'm actually working on the legs now. I'm trying to get those together. I'm just working from the bottom up. Well, yeah, we're getting there. Thank you though. I appreciate the critique because I don't mind it and I could use it. It's definitely something that um well we're not I mean I'm trying to get it as close to as close to accurate as possible even though he's going to be clothed, but so I mean it's not going to be I don't think there's any scenes in the webcomic where he's in this state of dress, but we want to learn how to do it as accurate as possible, for the future because I have a lot of characters in this story and I want to do them all. So we got to get them right. Eventually, you're going to come across somebody who does have their body more of their body shown, and we want to make sure that everything is it's right for that. But I extended his legs yesterday from his knees down here, and now I'm trying to tweak his form starting from the bottom up. So we're going to get there. And I definitely want to make sure that that area I just showed you on the other mesh is right. This is a little deformed too that I know of. I want to make sure that this area is right because it's a small area and we got to put planes there for the low poly. That'll really help there. I actually already increased this guy's head once because it was definitely too small. If you ever seen Super Mario Brothers the movie, not the new one, but the one in 1993 with Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo, he had like a Goomba sized head. He was like the little lizard dude with the big bodies. He had that. So we're definitely doing our tweak. We're definitely going to be tweaking everything before we move on to the low poly because the low poly we can't do anything after that. The whole torso head part is actually too small compared to the legs. Well, I am following a reference, and I can't show you the reference because everything is out. It's a 3D mesh of an act, or not a 3D scan of an actual person, and he's completely naked, so I can't show it. But um, and I do have if you can look up Bert Kreischer, he is a comedian. I think this body type is possible in real life. He kind of has a big gut. It's the closest real life person that I could find. Um, well, not that I could find. This was actually suggested to me by another chatter. But yeah, I think this body type is possible, and I've seen people in real life who are really big up top but have skinny legs, so it's not really too far off from reality, if at all. But yeah, I think we definitely can bring out his inner thighs a little bit. Yeah, I kind of have to. If I don't, man, these guys are they're gonna look like aliens. But no, I think you are right with the legs though. We are. I pulled out his thighs a little bit earlier because I felt like they actually like the groups, the muscle groups, and of course there's a layer of fat, but I'm going by the muscle groups. They weren't fully defined, so I did pull out his inner leg a little bit, and maybe I can pull his thigh out to where it's curved like this and try to bring it more in line with his body type because his legs kind of do look muscular, too muscular compared to the top of his body. So we're gonna try to fix that as well. Again, I appreciate it. I appreciate it very much. We're going to try to fix all these things before we go to the low poly. All I need to do is just, you know what I should do is I should extrude his feet now and then do the tweaks when his whole body is together. Before we go on, just fix everything, try to make it as good as possible, and then start the low poly because we're right there. We're almost like ready with this. As far besides the tweaks, of course. Hmm. I have feet. I have the feet here. Maybe, just maybe, we can do the feet now. I'm gonna smooth out his calves here from the little alterations I made. Let's see. Let me finish the back of his leg before I go on. I don't want to leave it like that. I want to try to keep the same train of thought that I had here. Basically, what I was doing was these two indentations here where a calf attaches to the back of the leg, and I was working on that. What is going on here? Okay, here we go. And look at it from another angle. This shouldn't be like that. We're gonna leave that there because that is a thing that I need to fix by just remeshing it. So I'm leaving it there. It is a little there's like a line that will appear. Here's some of it right there. And when I remesh it, that should be going and we can smooth that out. Because if I try to inflate it or smooth it, it's gonna come back. So I have to wait until I remesh it. I'm gonna remesh it as soon as I extrude the feet. So let's see. Let's see, 20, 20, 20, 20, 20, 20. You know, the exact numbers don't really matter, to be honest. That's a little too small anyway. Let's go back. All right, we're gonna try to. I just want to put the line there. What is that there? Is that a link? Just whisper me the link if that's a link, because the bot is not gonna like that, and I'm too lazy to go and change it. I got so many windows up. I don't want to fidget with that right now. Uh, Matter of fact, do I even have Twitch up? I have the chat popped out, but it's separate from Twitch. So if it's a whisper, I'll take a look at it in a while. Uh, yeah, I'll look at it later. Doesn't let me whisper either. What? How do I? Okay, that's fine too. Let's see. Let's click in. Oops, wrong keyboard. And we'll just eliminate the spaces. What's this? Oh, oh, okay. I see here. Now, for the legs, you're saying that I should make that part thinner. I see the head. I see the alterations to the head and the shoulders. That actually does look better. I like that. Thank you. Yes. Man, those calves. I feel like I gotta make those calves smaller too. Hey, studio, welcome to the stream. We're working on our fat guy here, our big guy. Yeah, I appreciate that core activities. That's very good to know. That actually like the alterations to the upper body. That actually makes sense to me. It's like when you're looking you're staring at a light too long and then you let your eyes relax and then suddenly, it feels, what you're looking at feels better. I'm not staring at a light, but something, I don't know, something assaulting your eyes. I don't know how to say it. It makes sense to your eyes, when you see it, when you look at it that way. What I'm trying to say is, I'm staring at this too long. You kind of feel like you don't really, you start to not see the mistakes. Like if I were to go away from this for a while and then come back, it might be more prominent to me. But we do this a lot, so sometimes it can be hard to see stuff. That's kind of how I edit my story too. Like I don't read it for a long, long, long time, and then I go back and read it. Yeah, you got to trust the reference more than me. No, I think I just didn't see it. You know, that actually does that actually does look better. Hey, realness, welcome. Is it hot where you at? I'm pretty sure it is. Well, it's still pretty early, right? But yeah, we're definitely going to take a look at that. See, super easy to fix. Just grab the brush at a giant radius and looking at it from the front and just dragging stuff around. Yeah, yeah, that's pretty much what I do. But I think, yeah, these calves are definitely, looking at that makes these calves look even bigger. And we've been adjusting these for a bit too. We just have to make these a little smooth, right? With the smooth brush, of course. I'm gonna use a smooth brush. I feel like the brush isn't the same if I hold down shift, so I'm just gonna select smooth brush and put it up. It's actually cold. Last week this time of morning would be 80. It's 64 now. Oh, cool. I wish it was 64 now. We got another heat wave, but it's gonna be raining. So they say earlier, and it's already cloudy now. I think we got that storm coming up the East Coast from the Caribbean. Heard some places got trashed down there, so hot rain. Well, it's gonna come down. It's going up to almost 100, and then it'll be brought down. Presumably during the rain. I don't know. Let me see. Yeah, rain starting in about 3 hours according to the forecast. Oh yeah, it's coming all the way down. It's definitely gonna rain in a bit though. Mm-hmm. Yep, yep, yep. Oh yeah, one more thing. Core activities. The legs. Did you beef up the upper body or did you make the legs thinner? I can't tell. I can't tell. My anatomy is too weird. I can't tell the difference right now. I think you beefed up the upper body. That's what I think you did. Do you get do you guys get summer rain like Florida where it burns? No, the rain does not burn. It absolutely does not burn. I don't think I have ever experienced that. Even in a desert, I've never had rain in a burning rain. You know, at best the rain's probably a little bit um below lukewarm at best, even in the desert. So I don't know. But burning rain? No, I don't think so. That would be most unpleasant. Most unpleasant. Wait, at least you got water, right? Burning might be an exaggeration, but definitely feels like a nice shower. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, but no, not that hot. No, I've never experienced rain that hot. Not even in the desert. Must be the humidity. I'm going to assume. Well, no, I was in Louisiana. I didn't feel too bad. I'm pretty sure it rained there when I was there. I don't know. When it gets hot enough, you just don't care anymore. So, I don't, rain any rain is good rain. When you're in a certain amount of heat, right? Mm, yeah, we still have some alterations to do. Let me take a look at my reference. I'm trying to make sure that the legs are I'm just tweaking the legs. You know what I'm gonna do? Let me extrude the feet because they need to be remeshed, and that will that then I can just work on the tweaking of the entire body before we move on to the retopology, which I'm going to try to do that. I don't know if it'll be this week, but pretty soon this guy will be caught up to the first guy, and then we'll be working on the third person. All right, enough dawdling. Let's get the feet out real quick, and then we can adjust everything. All right. So what we're gonna need here is we're gonna need a mask. I'm gonna take the radius down a little bit. I'm gonna mask right here in the front. Then we're gonna flip that. All right, and then of course we're going to take and no set pivot to mask border. There. That way we can just pull out that little area that we just did. See it to about right there. Good. See, it's already starting to chug a little bit because we have so many polygons. We didn't follow. I didn't follow the notes from the last thing. I tried to do it without looking at the notes to see if we had it in here yet, and we ended up with about 3, 4 times the amount of polygons because I remeshed it differently. I know exactly what I did, so it's okay. Now I know that we should not do it this way next time for the third person. And we're about to remesh it again, and then I'm going to cut the hands off and then remesh the hands again. But it'll be treated as um, a separate entity, we'll say. So it won't count towards the thing as a whole. But we're going to have to definitely get to our low poly so we don't have to worry about anything. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pretend that this is the floor. I went along there because it's going to probably sink below the floor a little bit, but we'll be all right. All right, we're gonna get rid of the mask, and I'm gonna take that. Let's see, pivot to origin. Always want to return it to origin because we use mirrors, and we want to make sure, and the mirror is going to go off of the origin. So when we mirror something, we won't have to do this step. It's just so I don't forget. Now we have some really weird feet going on here. We're going to definitely try to make look like feet. All right, let's see. We can start pulling stuff out. Take the feet and just yank them. Anybody know that wrestler Isaac Yankum? I don't remember what he looks like, but I remember the name Isaac Yankum. That's like an '80s wrestler. Yeah, he looks like he has rickets. Don't worry, we'll fix it. We'll fix it. Trying to follow the shape of the foot. I'm using Anatomy for Sculptors as always. Here's a little preview here. This is what I use for pretty much every part of the body for the most part. This anatomy for Sculptors does not exactly have well, it does, but like I said, I can't show it because it's a 3D scan of an actual person who doesn't have any clothes on. But it's usually muscular. It's mostly muscular shapes or athletic, slim shapes, and not so much this. That's why we're having our overall looks a little bit off because I don't have too many references of this type of body shape, but we're going to get there. That's the exact reason why I wanted to do different types of characters so we can learn how to do them. Right now we're working on the foot, so we're gonna go back to the foot. Let's see. I'm gonna pull the okay, I'm gonna make the arch now so we can round out the heel. Come on, come on, come on. Just do it up. Just push up his foot. You know what I should do is I should make my own template, my own human template, just to speed this up even more. Like make a like the best body that I can make, man and woman, off the bat, but don't put anything on their face, nothing. You know, just to have like a round shape or maybe like a basic face shape, and then put that in when I do another character, and then just adjust that. That's what I should do. That would make things a lot faster. I mean, you already seen that I at least have an idea of how to do it from a sphere, but maybe I shouldn't do that every time. You know, if we really want to try to up our progression here, it's just I thought of doing it this way because if I keep doing it from a sphere, eventually I'll get better at it, right? So, but if I ever have to do something like on the fly immediately, it would be nice to have a character like a body ready. That way I can, if I need to do something quickly, I can do it. It doesn't always have to be the option, but at least it would be an option. I don't know. I'll think about it. Think about doing that. All right, we're gonna take his heel. I'm gonna pull it back some. We got a lot of work to do on his foot. His foot looks a little weird. Actually, it looks very weird. Right now, his feet are kind of small. We're gonna have to make them. Well, I don't know. Are they small? He's not real world size yet. We haven't made him real world size yet, so it's kind of hard to tell. But we're gonna get there. We're gonna have to scale this guy all the way down to around 6 feet. I guess would be fine, or maybe 5'11". I don't really see him as a tall person, even though 5'11" is technically tall. You know, I guess some people don't. Some people don't see it that way. I think the average height of a man is 5'8", 5'9", all across the world. So I'm above that. I'm actually 5'10", not, but I'm not 6 feet. Which some people will comment. on that. It's okay. I don't mind. I'm not insecure, so it's not a big deal. Not a big deal to me, but I know some people are very insecure about that. Anyways, uh let me see. I mean, obviously we need to do a lot of work here, right? I'm just looking at what I should do next. I'm sorry for the short pause there. Well, we'll just continue working on the basic shape. I'm looking at the heel. We have the arch there. Put the arch up a little bit, not that much. We have that little bone behind the well, that's too far actually, never mind. Sometimes when I create a basic shape, some of the other things fall into place somewhat. It looked like that at first, but then when I turned it, it was too far back. There's no bone protrusion right there. But you have that little hump there right below, right past right behind your big toe. Let's see here. I'm just looking for another angle of the foot here. Okay, that is a drawing. Not exactly a proper reference, but we're gonna follow it anyway. Okay, it's anatomy for sculptors. I think we went too yeah, we definitely went a little too far over with this. Just gonna work on on the basic shape here. This will be technically where the toe is, the pinky toe is right here, and then the toes are gonna kind of come up. Like I'm gonna widen the foot to make it look like a foot, of course. This part is gonna be a little round, so let's grab that and just kind of well, not that round, not that round. Pull this out, and you can see we're starting to get the little lines here. That means it's gonna be time for us to remesh soon, which means this is gonna go up. And we're already pretty beefy here. So I want to get the entire body out as soon as possible because we definitely going to need to do the low poly soon. And I want to make sure that the body is good before I do that. Still got a little bit to go, but you know what I could do is and actually considered this, cut the high poly in half and mirror that. That would cut this number in half too. So I think maybe we could do that. I have to see if that works. I might have to try that in another file, but I'm definitely because I've been doing that a lot for the low poly. Can we get past the belly or what? Get out of there. Get out of his stomach. Get out of his thigh. Just move the camera. What is this? All right, I can't move. I hate that there's collision. Just let me go through the thing. All right, well, let me get. I got a circle around his knee here. It's like a giant person. I'm just trying to get the angle to match my reference I'm looking at currently for the foot. There we go. We're back. God, it looks really wide from this angle. We really got to make that look, bring that down a little bit. Okay. Trying to get it to match your freak. Why's he gotta be a freak? Yeah, he's a freak. Okay, we're trying to make him like a human. All right, we're trying to bring him to human. Right now he's freak. He's got to get him to human. Okay, leave my freaks alone. Getting better at not giving them gats though. I kind of fixed it. I fixed it a little bit. I just don't make it. Oh, it's a song. Yeah, I didn't know. I haven't heard anything new in a while. I normally just, when I'm stream, I just have this video game. Well, is it video game music? I don't know. Either streaming music or video game music. On this is actually Final Fantasy. Okay. I haven't really been listening to anything other than that and some old stuff for when because sometimes I listen to something off stream while I'm doing this, when I'm doing stuff off stream, and it's normally just regular music that came out years ago. Yeah, I'm working on the basic shape of the foot, and you know what? You just reminded me, since I got to do a high poly mesh of the shoes, I should probably, before I do the high poly mesh of or sorry, the low poly mesh, I should probably do the high poly shoes right now. Or not right now, but before we work on the low poly stuff, so that way when I retopologize with the low poly, I can do the shoes at the same time. And then we just put clothes on them, and then we'll be right where we left off with the other guy. Let's see, I'm trying to get his big toe here. That's the only toe that's going to be separate. I'm not going to, again, like I did for the other mesh, I'm not going to be too concerned about individually crafting the toes because I don't rig the toes at all. I can't even, I can't think of a moment where I would need to do that or draw that in the comic. It would be nice, like it's like if someone was barefoot and then I don't know if they had like articulate toes. I mean, I could see that being a thing, but my rigs generally don't have toe rigs, so I'm not gonna worry about it. I'll just figure if I have to do something like that, I'll figure it out. I'll just draw the toes without reference. I'm sure I can manage that. Articulate toes. Yeah. I know some people do. Some people do that. I don't know how to rig the toes, to be honest. I'm if my rigs had toes, I would do it. But I mean, actually, no, I could because I've done a manual rig before. I don't generally do. I plan on not generally doing a manual rig, but I could rig the toes just like I do the hand. If I look at because I do have like I got some learning material for rigging the hand. I could probably just apply that to a toe, but remove the thumb. Just have it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but just straight. I mean, the pinky toe doesn't really move that much anyway. I mean, I don't see why you would need to rig that unless you were doing like something like NSFW, and there's got a lot of foot fetish stuff out there. I I am fairly active on a site that has animation submissions, and I see all kinds, and I vote regularly on these submissions, and I see all kinds of stuff. It's it's people are they got their thing, right? And I guess that's all I can really say about that. They got their thing. But sometimes it does make me wonder, like, because I know a lot of people just grab. There's like a site where you can just download a person, and it's fully rigged and everything, and I guess people just animate that. It does make me wonder how like things are like that are done sometimes. Like rigging the toes. I guess I could do the same thing, but that's not really my scene. Yeah, I want to see some stuff I don't want to see. But yeah, it's whatever. But it would be kind of interesting to kind of get like a file of of what people are making and then look into the file and see like how they did it. I never really tried to reverse engineer somebody else's work. I normally just create mine and just improve upon mine. The only thing that would be really that really stands out to me is how they texture it, because sometimes they have like really nice looking skin, and I kind of want that for my characters too, or how they do the hair. You know, I kind of have an idea of how to do the hair. I put like mainly I just put wiggle bones in the hair to move it around. So if I pose something, like if I have my character's head like this, the hair would shift if they have long hair. That was with spring bones. Now we have hey 99, welcome to the stream. Thank you for the lurk. And I have Jiggle Maker now, but I had Spring Bones. Spring Bones does not work in this. Uh, they didn't have a Spring Bones for Blender 4.0. Okay, on my other computer I have 3 something, and Spring Bones work for that. But and I have not had a chance to use Jiggle Maker yet, so that's going to be something that I'm going to figure out real quick. And I already have some tutorials handy for that. But apparently it looks easy. It looks really much easier. You basically just take a whole entire section and just say, hey, make this wiggle, and that's it. It wiggles. So if I wanted to, I could, I mean, like for this guy, you could probably just do the inner thigh, his belly, his moves, you know, his arms here, his little tank arms, maybe his underneath his chin. That's not none of that's gonna really, I don't think any of that's gonna translate in a drawing, right? It would be fine for an animation, but I don't see that being like too noticeable in a drawing. My reasoning behind it, like if I drew a woman and say like she was like leaned over something, and I had the physics to where they move naturally, then I won't have to think about how the breast would be positioned in that position, because the physics have already done it for me. That's pretty much my intent behind that. Oh my god, look at that. That is not good. We're gonna have to work on the bottom. Right now we're just looking at the top. We're getting the top ready, and then we'll do the bottom. Still got a ways to go. But we won't need to do we don't need to do primary forms of the feet. This is basically the primary form. But we do need to do it for the hand, because the hand will be rigged and articulate, and we got to make sure that those are that looks, they look the way they're supposed to look. Hands are a little bit more important. Okay, so we have a basic idea of where the toes might be. So let's that looks bad. That looks bad. I don't remember how I did it last time, but um, basically I just shape it until it looked like a foot. Basically what I did. So that's what we're going to do. Let's push all that in. It's like a woolly sock. Ooh, whoa, 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 whoa. Uh, Man, that looks so bad. I'm not even sure how I should proceed. That's how bad it looks. I'm like, where do I go from here? I don't know. Oh, you know what I did? I just remember how. Oh, I know where I messed up at. I could have masked. I could have masked this area. The way I did it last time, it just popped into my head. It said I masked this area and I cut it completely. This time I pushed it in, and that makes it look deformed. And I'm so far in that I can't go back, so I'm gonna have to fix it. The feet are supposed to be better in this mesh than the last mesh. That's the goal. The glass mesh has to be better than this mesh. Or at least that's intended. That's what I hope for. That might not always be. I'm still pretty much a noob when it comes to sculpting, but we're making progress slowly. This is still a newly acquired skill. not been doing this for as long as I would need to make this efficient for what I want to do, but we're going to get there. Because honestly, I think, you know, in the time that it took me to learn how to sculpt, I would have a webcomic by now. It's just, I want the art consistent, okay? And I wanted to learn how to do this eventually. So here we are. Here we are. Man, I can't believe I did it that way. Look, this is too wide. I wonder if I could just pull that back out. Let's try it. I kind of messed up. I messed up a little bit. It's okay. We're gonna recover somehow. I think it just auto saved there. That little slight hang up. Okay, I'm gonna fix the primary shape, and then we're gonna do it the way I just remembered how we did it last time. Either that, no, we already have the Windows update already downloaded. Sometimes Windows update kind of I can kind of tell when my computer's doing it. So we're gonna somewhat fix the form here that we've created to where it's not super thick in the front. Now we have these little, we can fix that. It's not a big deal. I'm sorry, my grass was cut this morning and it's making me a little stuffy. So if the sniffling is being picked up on the mic, I apologize for that. I was out there today and I can feel that cut grass effect on my sinuses. It just makes me sneeze even more. Kind of irritates my nose a little bit. Makes my nose run. Kind of got to do the I Dream of Genie wiggle because I don't want to dig out. I'll be like, oh god. You know, so I've seen some streamers. They don't care. They just do it. I'm like, oh, I'm not doing that. Okay, I got tissues, whatever I need. All right, nearby. I'm just don't want to do it. All right, I'm gonna scrape the bottom of the foot a little bit, just so it's a little bit flat in this area, and then we can just sculpt it the way we want later. We still have that arch. No, we need to bring the entire foot back down across this line here. What we've done. I don't know how I guess I pushed it up a little too far. That's okay though. We're gonna get there. I don't want to I want to deform the foot or bring it out further. I think this is fine. Oh, I think this is fine. We need this down. At least this part needs to be a little bit down because you know he's got an arch. Whoa, where are we at? We're in a gray area here. Let's increase the radius. That's still not large enough. What the heck? Come on, come on now. Okay, we're closer. All right, that's fine. I kind of want to leave the arch. We don't want him to have a super arch though. bring down the arch a little bit. I mean, he could be flat-footed, but we're going to put the arch there. People have arch at this point. Like, we don't have to get that detailed in the, oh no, this character doesn't have an arch. This guy is double jointed. He's double jointed, things like that. We don't need to worry about. I didn't develop that far into their anatomy. I just need a functioning human being that looks like a human being that I can pose and draw later. That's all I want. Only thing that I want. All right, so let me see. Now I want a side view of a foot because I want to get this plane in the correct angle here. Sorry, didn't mean to do that. Anyways, now I want to bring this up a little bit. I think that's good. This line, this little line, this crease here should be lower, and it's gonna hoop under the ankle. Then we're gonna have that little indentation. We almost have a whole body. Just need to do some tweaks here and there. Whoa. All right, so we need to bring where his pinky toe here. We need to bring that down so it's level. That's like, let's see, let me look, because I was gonna say that's probably the lowest point of the foot, which it is, yes. All right, I wanted to make sure because like I said, I'm not an anatomy next expert. Okay, I can get the job done a little bit, drawing it, but there are obviously some things that I need to work on. Okay, I'm gonna bring down the toes. Bring that out a little bit. To be honest, you can probably skip this get this guy's feet. I'm not going to. I bet most 3D characters don't even have toes. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I could probably, this guy doesn't have his feet out. I could probably just have his shoes on and just not even do this, but I do want to be proficient in crafting every relevant part of the body. So I even do the things that will probably never be drawn in my webcomic, like this guy's feet, for example. I'm pretty sure he'll never be barefoot. And I'm sure the reader, anybody who's reading it, might be a little bit happier for it, unless you're into that thing, that sort of thing. You like fat men's feet, then you're gonna be sorely disappointed. I'm sorry, but at least you'll be able to watch this. Oh, oh, oh. That just ruined my day. What, you don't want a melted army man's feet? Melted plastic army man feet? You don't like that? That's a very rough, basic shape, but we're getting there. Now I'm gonna focus on this, and then we're going to properly do the big toe separation. I think maybe you could probably, if you really wanted to separate the toes, you could probably mask out every space besides the pinky. The pinkies really aren't usually, unless you're really flexing your feet to do so, they aren't really separated from the ring toe. I don't know if that has a name. You got a middle toe, you got a ring toe, no, a pinky toe, ring toe. You got the two middle. I don't know. I don't know if they're named. Phalanges, I guess. They're even called phalanges. What your fingers are. I'm not sure about toes though. I'm gonna assume that the toes are also called phalanges. Anyway, that's enough about phalanges. I keep manipulating my reference here. Looking at a foot. Metatarsals. Oh, okay. That's what they're called. Cool. I guess phalanges are just fingers then. Oh, metatarsals. Gotcha. I had a brain fart there. I don't know that almost read like when you're just looking at it. That almost looks like metal tarless if I just look at it. But then I had to like I had to like really analyze that word for a second. I was like, okay, it's metatarsals, metatarsals. Got a little bit of Kanko action. I think that's fine though. You know, he's kind of a big guy. That's just part of the bones I remember. Yeah, I only remember phalanges, and I wasn't even sure if that was the other proper term. I remember when I proposed by giving this girl an engagement toe ring. She said no. Oh, toes do have phalanges. Gotcha. Okay. I'm sorry to hear that, really. I'm sorry that didn't work out. Also, I've never heard of an engagement toe ring. All right, so we want to bring this. No, wait, hold on. Is that supposed to be leaned all the way over like that? Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, because we have a muscle group that kind of wraps around here, so it kind of looks like the okay. And I didn't add that at all in this guy's leg. This looks more like a lizard's leg. Yeah, we really got to fix this anatomy, man. I bet engagement toe rings really exist, but I don't want to Google it. Yeah, I can't imagine what it would be like to. I'm sorry, I was all leaned down here to have a rejected marriage proposal. That must really suck, especially if you do it like in public, like a lot of people do. That must be very soul crushing. But it's important to be resilient in situations like that. I assumed it was a joke when you said toe ring. Yeah, because I've never heard of that. But I've seen videos, at least ones that I assumed that were not set up, because I know a lot of them are, where people will do public proposals, and then they get rejected, and then you got the whole crowd reaction. It's like they just making it worse. You're literally making it worse. You heard her say no. Just don't say anything. Don't do or say it or look or just stop. Just go on. Let him let him die inside on his own. Okay, you don't go all because it makes it worse. All right, don't laugh. because that's even worse than pity in sometimes. uh, it's that's it's rough. It's a rough. It's definitely a rough situation. No, it's over. Oh, okay. In that situation, all you can do is play Doctor Strange. It's like when you make it too extravagant and it backfires. All that will backfire if she says no, and then simultaneously breaks up with you right then and there. So you get a double knife, you get a double knife or a double barrel, however you want to perceive it, of pain, suffering. I don't know. Like I said, I would not look forward to. I'm sure no one would. I personally would not look forward to uh, having my proposal rejected by someone I thought would be that could be my wife. You know, that would really suck. I don't know. I'm laughing, but anyway, yeah. Let's see here. All right, so there's like these little divots here, like this on either side, and that's what I am looking at. I'm trying to get like this. It's kind of like I wouldn't say like a light bulb because it's not really. This side's kind of more than the other, but it kind of has like that bell shape, like a beaker shape right in there. And also that is the wrong side. This is the side that has the bigger. I'm looking at it wrong. Sorry. This side has the bigger indentation. It seems. You know what would help if we just looked at the right foot? That would be nice. Or in this case, the left foot. Just looking at the right foot and then working on the left. That's not ideal. Oh, sir. We're gonna smooth that out some. Let's see. Um, hmm. Trying to still do that shape, so this looks a little bit off for some reason. I am following the reference, but oh, yeah, it's probably because there's no ankle there. There's like an ankle here. And this ankle is a bit lower. But you have all the parts there as things start making sense. It looks a little weird when there's like a part of the anatomy missing. That's why we have the hand, that whole hand here. Even though we're going to cut these fingers off and then do the fingers, we're just going to copy the index finger 3 times. But having all the fingers there will help you shape the hand because you get an idea of how everything looks when it's whole. Okay. What we're going to do now is I'm gonna pull the ankles out some. Because you can't have cankles without ankles. It's not really cankle. You just have really thick. I think a cankle would be. What is even a cank? Why is it like a K? What does a K mean anyway? But I'm assuming like when people's ankles are swollen, they have like that little like it comes out like a fatter, and then it's like it it goes more round and then it tucks up. maybe underneath the ankle or above it. I'm not really sure because I don't really look at people's ankles like that when they have that. Like I've seen it, I'm not really analyzing it. It's kind of weird to do. uh, I'm gonna use the inflate tool and then just inflate this area and try to get an ankle out of it, like so. And then we can maybe take this line underneath the ankle and kind of pronounce it a little bit more. I'm gonna use the draw sharp for that. In fact, hold on, wait. Let me grab. Let me see if I could pull that line down some without disturbing the ankle too much. Let's take the draw sharp and I'm gonna go underneath like so. Hey, let me look. I want to see how much I gotta do here. All right, so we can go. We can probably put a bigger trench around there because all this is kind of sucked in a little bit underneath the ankle, and then it comes back out again. Like this will be more rounded, a more rounded shape. This is a more indentation or indent around the ankle, I guess you could call it. Then you got your little Achilles heel here, which is what we were already working on. Oh, right. Hmm. All right, now I can smooth that out. I think it looks okay. I'm gonna do it again. After smoothing it, I'm gonna do it again. Okay. Oh, let me control Z that because brush is a little too strong for that. Wait, was that? Oh yeah, I guess it was. Never mind. Wanted to see if that was a smoothing brush. Definitely was. That shift held down. Sometimes I don't. I'm so locked in that I don't remember if I'm holding shift or not. Uh, or brain dead, however you want to call it. I don't know. So we're going to. I'm gonna inflate the the beginning of the bottom of the foot here. That is bone, I believe. Is that bone? I don't have any socks on. I'm feeling my. Yeah, I guess it's kind of meaty. It's a little meaty. Matter of fact, let's beef up that radius some. That's too much. I'm gonna half that just a little bit. Not half it, but close enough. It's not half. I'm gonna say the toe would begin somewhere around there. Oh yeah, okay. Now we have this little plane here. That's like this kind of like this little inner tube plane there. I want to see how that wraps into the heel. Okay, we can kind of do that with the heel as well. Yeah, I guess. We'll just have to push this part in because this person is standing on a floor, so his heel is not going to be too bulbous. We're gonna make it's going to be this part is going to be kind of flat. So we're going to flatten it just a little bit in that area. And this is not the flattening brush, the brush that we can use to flatten it. We can't flatten it with inflate. Maybe if we hold control, because that would be like the reverse. It's always the reverse when you hold control. Whatever the brush does, if you hold control, it does the reverse. So if I could have reversed it with the inflate, but I mean, why when I could just use grab? You use the default grab to pull things, but and you can also use the push things too. So it doesn't you don't really need to hold control for this brush, which is why I'm using it. I could just pull. I could pull it any way I want, so it doesn't really matter. But I think when you push the button down, it automatically pulls a little bit. So if you did control and then press the button down, then it would automatically push it a little bit. So I mean, if you wanted to do that, you could do it that way. Like if you knew which way you're gonna go from the start, you could do it. But normally, I just grab it and then just pull it any way I want. So you really, I mean, it's really just a matter of what you want to do. If that's your preference, you could hold control or don't. It doesn't really matter for grab. So grab is a good universal brush for that reason. Don't really have to do much other than just pull or push, whatever. Whatever you want. Whatever you want to do. It's up to you. Can I scrape his entire boat? No, I guess I can't. We'll turn down scrape this a little bit. It's very, very strong right now. I don't remember why I had it that high. But for what we need right now, we need to not have it that high. I just want to flatten his feet a little bit more. All right, that doesn't look too bad. His form is starting to come together a little bit now that we have the ankle and the Achilles sort of mapped out a little bit. It's starting to make a little more sense to my eyes. This really looks, man, I gotta really adjust this width here. Look at that. Got some dinosaur legs, man. I really need to. I should grab some reference pictures later of someone of this body type. See if I can what I can find on Google. Like I said, I have reference, but it's kind of like a more fit person. They kind of have a slight gut, and this Burt Kreischer guy has clothes on, but he has his shirt off. So I mean, I don't have anything for his legs. I just have the upper body part. Just need to adjust that. I have to remember to round them a little bit more around the trap area, like I was shown by core activities. Round that, and then we got to look at, of course, got to definitely increase his head. I'm gonna take another look at his legs, but definitely this, what I can see so far, his calves are way too thick. But this is an interesting learning experience, you know. I've never sculpted anyone of this body type before, so I'm learning a lot. I don't regret doing this. What was it? Oh yeah, that's right. I had to remember what I was doing. We were going to work on the Achilles heel here, and I'm going to zoom in on my reference. My reference. Hmm. All right, so I'm gonna push in a little bit this little protrusion here where the Achilles heel is, or Achilles tendon. Sorry, keep saying heel. Well, is there a heel? I guess there is a heel. There's definitely a tendon, but the Achilles heel would be a phrase for the weakness, right? That's not an actual body part because you know that's where he got shot. Once he got shot there, he wasn't as fast. He wasn't fast. He wasn't as fast as he used to be, right? Couldn't dodge arrows anymore, and he just kept shooting them. Sucks to be that guy, especially back then. He probably would have died anyway. Normally, you get hit with an arrow, you know, you get the infection and all that. You know, they don't have the medical uh, prowess back then that we had now. Or unless you want to do the mythology thing, he was just completely invincible in everywhere but his Achilles because he was dipped. I forget what was he dipped in? The river Styx. He was dipped in something as a kid that held him by his heel, his one heel, dipped him in the water, and then only that part was weak. That's where he got shot. That's the mythology version. I don't know if there even was a real version of it. I guess he was a real person. You can't really tell. I mean, you could probably just say anybody's real at this point. Yeah, that's a real guy. He was there in 10,000 BC. He was raised over there. He was over there in the mountains. I could just say that. Hey, Judicious, welcome to the stream. We're working on some feats, some feats. Make his heel a little bit more round. This part should be more. Push that in because it's really bothering me. We got to adjust this now. I was gonna wait until he was a fully formed, a fully whole human before I did that, but this is too thick. It's got to be thinned out some. Okay. The way I'm gonna do that. After talking about Terraria yesterday, they announced that Terraria sales have officially surpassed Super Mario's. Whoa, that is quite a feat. Because that was like the #1 game for decades now. #1 best-selling game. Actually, no. I think didn't Grand Theft Auto pass Super Mario? Well, it's up there. It's like top 3 at least. So yeah, that's a great feat. But it was #1 for decades. And I think Grand Theft Auto surpassed it at one point, maybe, or maybe Minecraft. But it's good that Terraria is up there too. Like I said, I played Terraria before Minecraft, so that still has like a special place in the pantheon of games that I really enjoy. And then I played Minecraft, and then I just kept playing Minecraft. But I was actually recommended Minecraft first. I just never got around to playing it until like 2016. But I do wish I had played it sooner. That would be nice, because I definitely would have enjoyed it. I think back then I wasn't really playing survival games like that. I can't really think of any. Let's see, around 2010, 2011, 2012. I don't, yeah, survival games were still kind of new to me back then, except for maybe Fallout. I think Fallout had the survival mode, but I never really played that. Actually, never played it at all. Next time I play Fallout, it will be on survival though. I'll probably do it on stream. I've beaten them all, so they won't be blind playthroughs. So I'll probably just I'm gonna mod them to be like extra hard, just for the heck of it, because apparently I like doing dumb shit. So here we are. I gotta finish my Zenith seed. I really want to rebuild my Ballervania in that seed. Although it won't look the same because, like I said, when you go on the surface, it's just space from the surface all the way up, and then I can't build near the top too closely because there's a Terminator line there. You'll die if you touch the top of the screen, or whatever you call it in game terms. I don't know if it's actually called a Terminator line, but I'm gonna call it that. That's where you die. You can't touch the top of the screen in the Zenith seed. I'm wondering if they've done something. Did they add something to Terraria recently? Because I've seen like I mentioned before, Code Carnage has been playing it a lot lately. So I'm wondering if either that mod was updated, the Calamity mod, or did they do something to the base Terraria game? Maybe he just likes Terraria, just decided to play it. I don't know. I haven't played it in a couple months, so I'm not really sure if they added anything since then. I'm just trying to bring it down. Excuse me. I'm trying to bring it down to where it's flat in the back too. His foot. I shouldn't be able to see the bottom of his foot from this angle. So I'm pulling it down while keeping his heel round for the most part. Like I said, he's flat. He's supposed to be flat on the ground, so it doesn't have to be completely round. And he's gonna have shoes on, so none of that really matters. Oh, what's the last Super Mario game that I played? I'm not sure. Oh, why do I keep sinking? Why is my camera? Oh, that's not the direction we should be going. I just don't want to cut my head off at the top. I want to cut my head off. I want to decapitate myself. I think it was the Wii one, Super Mario Wii, maybe the first one. I haven't played any Super Mario games in a long time. I like Super Mario 3 and Super Mario World. Those are the ones that I think about when I think of Mario games because I haven't really played any of the new ones. Uh, Maybe Mario Party. I don't know. Did I play Mario Party recently? Like when I'm man, when I'm going to say recently, I mean like in the last couple of years. Because like I said, it's been a while since I played a Mario game. But yeah, I can't really remember. They're always adding stuff. I think they added transformations and bomb upgrades. Oh, okay. Yeah, I can't tell because I'm on a Zenith C and progression is extremely slow because of how difficult it is, and I can't tell what's new anymore because everything's new to me. Like I said, I haven't when I was really heavy into Terraria. The last they had just came out with the Moon Lord, so everything past that point, I don't know much about. Unless wait, did Duke Fishron come out before or after the Moon Lord? I don't remember, but I know Duke Fishron as well. Anything past that one of those two bosses that I don't really know much about. Besides that it's there for the most part. I want to take this part of his foot and put it down. So that should be flat. At least I think it should be flat. I'm looking at the 3D scan. It's kind of off. This part is kind of off the ground on the 3D scan. So maybe I could just leave it like this. Perhaps. All right. Let's try to thin his calves a little bit here. A little too, just a little too wide. His lower leg here. I'm adjusting my reference here, trying to get it to where I can see better. Okay. There's too many lines in the back of the knee here. I went a little bit too was a little overzealous with the brush there in that area. It should only be the one line right here, but we can fix that. Oh, that would help if I just moved that entire window out of the way. Trying to adjust something while I was behind another window. These Pure Wef apps, they stay on top of each other no matter what I do, so I have to physically move them out of the way. I can click on a bottom one. Well, yeah, it will come up, but um, like I said, I have to sometimes I have to physically move them out of the way in order to see better. Okay, maybe I should increase my radius a little bit. Just adjusting now. Now that we have our toe here, I'm gonna work on the toes too. It's somewhat. Let's see, one, two, three, four, and five. Okay, I need to bring that pinky toe up before we start tweaking other parts of the body. That should be about see, do I have a bottom part of the foot? Do I have a bottom shot of the foot? Pretty sure I do. But do I have it out? So I don't freaking see it. Don't freaking see it. I don't have it out, actually. What the heck? Hold on, give me 1 second. I'm gonna pull out another foot reference of the bottom of the foot because I am missing that for some reason. I thought I pulled out everything that I needed, but I guess I didn't. It won't take me long to find it because I have everything organized to a point where I can find it fairly quickly. Although I'm not sure where this particular reference would be. I thought I had it ready. What the heck? I guess I just I guess I just told a freaking lie. I was mistaken. Apparently, I'm not sure where the bottom of a foot reference would be. What the sniff? There's hand, there's foot. Let's have the top of the foot. What the heck did I use for the bottom then? And where is it? It's probably out of order. Let me scroll down a little bit more. Okay, here we go. Yep, I found it. Yep. It was out of order. All right. Sorry about that. Now I just need to see exactly where the pinky toe is placed at. I think I have it too far back. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it's way down. That's probably from me adjusting it, from adjusting the entire foot. Kind of deformed the top a little bit. We still have to create that separation there. We will do that. We'll get to it. This needs to come out. Pull that all the way. They're relatively they're not that I don't know what I was thinking when I did that. It might have been just the form of the pinky toe just got completely lost because I think this is that little bump right beyond the pinky toe, which we're going to actually adjust that now. Pull this whole thing out. I said pull the whole thing out a little bit. I just want to make it so that I can see. So I just want to make it so I know exactly where that form is supposed to be. Now he has a kind of a wider foot as a result. See toe and then bump. That's good. You can push this little bump in. I don't know why it's there. So I think it's good to stick to one foot reference because there's those slight deviations. If you try to copy a reference exactly and you kind of try to copy every slight deviation of slight shape of different shape of a foot, then you're gonna get kind of confused. Actually, no, I'm looking at the last reference I used, and there was nothing there. So I'm pretty sure that was just created from me forming the foot so much, and I kind of accidentally created an additional shape or something like that. That wasn't in the reference. At first, I thought it may have been, and that was the thing, but just forget everything I just said. It wasn't. I just want to make it so that there's not any like large pits there. We got to do the tendons on the top of the foot and the bones. Other than that, this is more closer to a proper foot shape. Looking around, we're going to have to remesh this. It's starting to get to the point where we don't have the polygons to form much anymore. But before I remesh it, I want to create the big toe separation first, and then remesh it. looking around the foot now to see the general shape. Besides the toes, it doesn't look too bad. It's a good start, at least. All right, let's try to create the big toe separated from the rest of the toes. We need a mask. All right. Maybe I can lasso it. Create like a little bullet shape here. I guess that'll do. I'm gonna sharpen it. I don't know if that'll how effective that'll be, but I usually just sharpen it. That's fine, I guess. We just need to create a space there, and then we're going to uh, slice it. Okay. That was not actually, that's not actually what we want. I think what I should have done was mask, slice, and fill holes. Okay. That is also not the intended thing here. Hold on. Okay, we're getting close to stumped here, so let me just refer to my notes. Let's see. Okay, yeah, we did feet shape, bony landmarks, ankles, heel shape, big toe. But it does not have what I did for the thing here. I'm kind of confused as to what I did now. Hold on. Oh, you know what? I know how I did. I have to control Z this. Okay. This is what I did. Just it just occurred to me what I did. Like that. Ugh, nope. Push. There. This was the way to do it. Yep. We got it. And we just have to shape all that in there. Okay. Control M. Get rid of that mask. And now we're going to shape the big toe. Hey, what are you doing? All right. Yeah, it does look like a ninja tapping. That's the first thing I think of too, judicious. Yep, every time I do this, well, I mean, I guess this, well, yeah, I guess it would be every time because I do have other practice sculpts, but this is our second or our second official, final product, and every time I thought, yeah, Ninja Tabby or Ninja Turtle, one of the two, close enough. Either way, they're both ninjas. Typically, ninjas wear tabby in fiction, anyway. I don't know what they wore in real life because I wasn't alive, wasn't there. I'm gonna have all this weird stuff in the center there, and of course, there's all that pushed it, but We can fix that. When we remesh it, all that'll go away. We're going to need to remesh it soon. That's why I did this. I'm going to scrape this down. And try to get it, bring it in line. I mean, I could have just waited until I remeshed and then did it. But I'm going to do it now. Okay. Now let's look at the shape of a toe. I have the shape of a toe. I'm going to grab this and try to bring this a little bit more in line with how a toe looks on the inside in between the toes. I want to push this out some so we have the space to do it. Basically, you're just shaping like almost like a thumb, kind of, when it comes to the big toe. It's a little wider than a thumb, but it's generally a similar shape. Just want to grab, I want to get it to where it doesn't have that little bump there, but we can fix that when we remesh it. Important thing is to get the proper. We still have to shape the bottom of the toes too, which is why we're doing this now, so we can get to that, because remeshing is imminent. It's imminent. Wait, whoa. I didn't grab anything over there, did I? Well, I would see it here if I did. Anyway, toes should not be this thick. That is a big toe. So what I'm gonna do is I want to push down just this toe. Let's see, can we get a side view? I guess that's fine. Can I just smooth it out now? I guess I can. But we kind of deformed the form a little bit. That's okay. We're already shaping it, so I just don't want that to carry over when we remesh it. Sometimes if you don't fix it and you remesh it, it'll just get more jagged. But you'll be able to fix it, but it doesn't need to be jagged. Probably do that a little bit. And there's like a little crevice underneath. Well, I mean, this is completely dependent on the person. Some people you don't even see this part of the toe. It's just the little pad on the bottom of each toe, and then the crown, and that's it. And then the rest of it's just tucked into a space. And then some people have long toes, so I mean, it's just a matter of preference or reference if you're using reference, which I am. So I'm just gonna follow that. And in my reference, we just have the crown and the pads of the toe, and all this little crevice here is it's like curled. You know, it looks straight from the top, but it's curled on the bottom. Oh, them apples, huh? Something like that. And we want to kind of have that crevice for each toe. It doesn't have to be as pronounced as my reference. Can I show it? I don't know if I should. I don't know how Twitch feels about the bottom of feet. I've never personally seen anything in the rules, but you never know. You know, that could be considered like a fetish thing, even though it's not being used that way. You know, we're just crafting a foot. So I'm not gonna do it. I'm already, I've already done this on stream before, and Twitch doesn't seem to have a problem with it. So we're just gonna stick to that. It's not sexual in any way. What in the world? Let's not use that anymore until we remesh it. It's always the clay strips that screw up the like both sides of a thing. I like that brush too, so I always use it. So we can't use it here until we remesh. I'm gonna inflate whatever I can to make this toe more like ball-like. This kind of has that kind of like a ball shape on the bottom. Oh, the sun's back out. Okay, well, it's still a couple of hours before probably it rains. We still have time to be scorched. See if we can make this. Oh, I don't want to grab that. Why is it grabbing that and not this? It's so weird that Blender does that. I guess it's the radius of the brush. Yeah. That's only affecting the one toe. Trying to grab it so that we can kind of give it that bulbous look. Like a more even bulbous look. Like it's more rounded on this side than this side. So I'm trying to fix that. Maybe more like a light bulb shape, I suppose. So let me try to. Man, I gotta do the freaking the toes too. The freaking toes. I don't know why they're freaking. All right. The toe shape is coming along. As far as thickness, I think, is it still too thick? I think so. Maybe. I'm just analyzing the toe here. Do I have a inner? Yeah, I do. Okay. Inner version of the toe. Oh, you know what I haven't done yet? Socks. I have not done socks yet. I don't know how relevant that's going to be to my project, but I'm sure we can just cover, the foot. We don't have to do a sock. But that is something, though. Maybe I don't know. I'm sure if like somebody has a shoe and then a sock on the shoe, I'm sure we could just do this part of the sock, the tube part that goes around your leg, and not the sock itself if you have shoes on. I just thought about that. It's something really simple. It's definitely an easy fix if a sock is needed. All right, so I'm going to do this middle toe. I'm gonna try to carve out that point. We're still gonna have to do the toenails, and of course, uh, general tweaking of the body shape and the anatomy proportions before we move on to the low poly mesh. But we are definitely getting there. Pretty soon we'll have another mesh to work on. I'm gonna have to start getting references together for that as well, so that way we can just go right into it whenever we need to take this one offline for the private bits that Twitch would not enjoy. We have another mesh that we can back up, that we can go to as a backup that's ready to go. Okay, let me cut in here, cut into the toes. I think his big toe is a little too big. Wait a minute, wait. Yeah, I'm just looking at that. Yeah, it looked like somebody just smashed it with a hammer. It's swollen now. So we're gonna bring the toe down some. Wait, grab the radius. Let's bring the radius all the way up. So then we could bring the toe all the way down. It shouldn't be. Hold on, let me look at my toe. I can't see. I can't see my toes. I can't see my toes. Um, it's okay. We have diagrams. We'll just use those instead. Yeah, the toe's not much bigger than this toe. So either we bring this toe up a little bit more and then bring this toe down to match it. Just so it's not, you know, like, that's a whole big, the whole giant big toe. It's a little more proportionate to his foot. I think we can work with that. All right, now let's go to the other toe. Got the feet. I'm gonna bring up the strength of the draw sharp brush because we need that. And we'll bring down the radius so we don't affect more than we need to. These toes are going to be together and we're going to leave them together. I'm not going to bother individually crafting it. That's like a personal preference, I guess. I mean, you could do it, but since they're not going to be rigged anyway and he's going to have his shoes on, I'm not even going to bother. If I ever need to draw toes for any of my characters, I will just do it. I'll just draw them. You know, really, I could just use the anatomy for sculptures for the art itself as well. Not a big deal to me. All right. Let's see, I'm trying to show the toe here. We're running out of polygons, unfortunately, so we're gonna have to definitely going to have to remesh this. Wow, completely undid what I just sculpted there. Just one stroke of the smoothing brush. All right, we're gonna remesh it. I'm trying to remesh as low as possible because we're already super high, much higher than before. I'm definitely going to follow my notes a little more closely next time. Now we're at 10 million polygons. Yahoo. We're really going up. All right, now let's see if we can do our toe. That'll probably be the last thing we do today. We'll come back and do all of our things next week. I'm thinking about doing a game stream sometime within the next during before now and Monday. So stay tuned for that if you're interested. I'm not sure when or where, but I do know the game. It's gonna be Shadow Hearts. Oh, where will be here? Where is here? We do have a where. We just don't know when yet. Uh-oh. Why do I do that? I'm just trying to craft this. Oh, wow. I'm trying to make this line as straight as possible, but that's not seem to be the case though. Swing out. All right. Let's see. Can I smooth this? Yes, I can. looks a little weird, but we can get it to where we have ourselves a good foot. Hmm. One, two, three. Okay. Still have two more. We have enough, and we have enough real estate to do that too. So I just want to make sure that we're all good here. We could probably put the lines in now, just so we know we have enough room. I think it should be just another line there. One, two, three, four, and then five. Now we're gonna cut over. I'm not fully shaped yet. I just want to make sure I get the spacing down. These are going to remain together, so this is how they're going to look. Just try to make them look like toes as best as I can. I'm not going to individualize them or rig them, so we're going to stay together. Okay. I'm going to smooth out the remaining toes here. Increase my radius, smooth out the rest of the foot. We don't need these lines, these textures here. Do not serve us whatsoever. Okay, now I'm going to take the inflate brush. I don't know why I blanked on the name. Oh man. Anyways, we're gonna take the inflate brush and kind of inflate the toes a little bit to make them look more like toes on the bottom at least. Since these are together, we only need to worry about the bottom parts of these toes and the top. I'm not gonna inflate the top though. Actually, you know what? Maybe I should just a little bit so it's more rounded on the top. Like this. Okay, I'm gonna turn and look at my reference here from the bottom and make them a little bit better. Whoa, whoa. Almost inflated a little bit too much there, as we can see. I'm going to cut back into that. I was trying to avoid these lines here. Like when we remesh, this is going to get a little deformed anyway. But I want to keep the lines there so that way we can just recut the lines again, or we actually don't have to. We can just leave them how they end up with the remeshing. The plan here is the next remesh we're going to do is when we cut the hand off and make it a separate thing. We're going to remesh the hand itself. That won't affect the body at all. But when we reattach this and attach the head to the body finally, There will be one more remesh, and then that's it. The high poly should be done. Hopefully, we'll have all of our proper proportions done at that time, because we won't be able to. Well, I mean, we can change it whenever we want, but we shouldn't have to go back after that. Let me see. So this little indentation I made seems to have gotten a little bit. These are supposed to be like more of a rounded, fatty pad here. So, oh, about this. Oh, it's a little sloppy. Hang on. Looks just a little bit sloppy. I'm trying to get that little area to be entrenched there, or make a little trench there. Now I'm gonna take the grab tool and just push in that little sharp area, see if we can get that out. Oh, no, turn around the other way. Thank you. I mean, it's a foot. Things are afoot here. This does not look, this looks smooth, but I'm looking at this side. This side I can see the ridges. So I'm smoothing this out slightly anyway, and it'll affect the other side. It seems that slight differences in the leg are starting to become apparent, even though I have symmetry on. And now that we've remeshed this, we should be able to fix this part now. I'm going to add more clay just right there, just a little bit, and we're going to go over it. So it doesn't look like a scar or anything like that. You know what? I'm going to put another strip right there just for good measure. Smooth that out. The extra lines would actually do us a good service, you know, on a muscular person. But since this guy is a little bit more round, some of his body parts are going to be smoother as a result. So we got to make sure that we smooth this guy a little bit more than we smoothed the last guy. Smooth him. You got to smooth with a B. Smooth, smooth. Okay. We still have this extra line here. Well, it's not an extra line, to be honest. I think what I need to do is just scrape the center down. We can smooth everything after that. Strength. Okay. I'm seeing this down here. I'm gonna smooth that from way back here. I don't even know what I'm doing. Okay, there we go. We're good. Everything's fine. We just have these little random. Oh, let's Control Z that. It seems to me here that we. You know what? Let me look at the top's good. I'm just gonna inflate them a little bit more. This really, I mean, it's a small area. We're gonna have to remesh them more if I want to keep adding more detail to such small areas. And I don't want to do that. Not at all. Could make them around here. See, that's from remeshing. That's from that gap being too close to together. That's what we don't want that for things like legs and fingers. The toes are okay because I'm not really too concerned with the toes. And besides, we can just take a draw brush. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe I can pull it. Nope. We're gonna leave it. I can probably go into edit mode and, oh, well, maybe we can just smooth it. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, we can do that. There, now we know how to fix that. Just little taps, little smooth taps here and there. All right, we still have to do the toes, but we probably won't get to those today. Uh, hmm. And of course, the detail of the foot itself. You could probably add that now, though. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to inflate this part. We're going to try to follow how, if you ever look at a footprint, you're going to get this fatty area, right? This meaty area, almost like a boomerang or a banana, something like that, something curved, maybe a question mark. And we're going to fatten just those parts up. You're going to have your arch here, mostly. When you look at a print, you're going to get this side is going to be in a print more than this side for most, or for a lot of people. I'm going to say most, but. So I'm just inflating these areas. Now we don't want to make them too fatty because technically they're flat. You're standing on something, but we want to make it enough to where you start to see the natural shape of the foot. This area here is going to be a little bit more than this area. There's like a little right where the little bend in the foot is. Matter of fact, we can take the draw sharp right now. Click on that. Thank you. I'm gonna reduce the radius there, and I'm just gonna put that in. Why not? Just like it is. No, I'm not. I'm gonna control it. I'm gonna control shift that. We're gonna bring the strength down to around 200. It's usually good for me. I'm sure anybody who does this type of art will have their own numbers that they default to. I like 200. 200 is a good number. Now that looks not good, but we're gonna smooth it out, so it'll be all right. Oh, that's not smoothing actually. Something like that. And of course, all the little wrinkles we can put in. I'm not going to worry about that right now. We're slowly getting something that looks like a foot. I want to shape just under there a little bit. We don't want to affect that too much. That seems to be very, very receptive to anything that we do. There's not much we can do about the texture without remeshing it, and I'm trying to avoid remeshing it so soon. We're already above our limit here. Our last body was literally like 1.8 million. We're at 10, so we definitely screwed that up. Although the performance is a lot better than it was before. On one of my practice meshes, I was like at 2.8, and I think it was lagging. I think that was because of the undo history. I had it so high that the program was keeping track of all of that, and this time I have it at 32. One day I'll drop it down to 5 when I get really if I get really good at doing this, I'm gonna drop it down to 5, or maybe even 1. Maybe just don't even keep track of it. If we make a mistake, we'll just fix it. I would like to believe that I could get good enough to where I don't make too many mistakes, but I mean, I don't know. Every time I see someone draw on stream, it's a lot of undoing. When they just draw on a line, they do it a bunch of times, and then eventually they'll be satisfied with the line. So I don't feel so bad when I do the same thing. Let's see. Draw sharp. I guess I'll put some of the wrinkles in. I kind of want to do it now. Maybe just across the foot, just a little bit. It's a little too much. I'm gonna leave it. Maybe one here. Maybe one there. It depends on the foot, really. I don't know. I just want to put something there. Those wrinkles should stay. I don't know about here though. In my reference, this area is very, very smooth. I feel like I should put something there. All right, whatever. That's fine. Now let's try. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, that does not look great. What is that? Is that what we just did? Our little fatty area? It's a little too fat. I'm gonna smooth this. I think it's just that. But from that angle, it does not. That looks off. I'm gonna grab a grab tool, or select the grab tool. Try to push that in a little bit. Why that looks so weird to me. Every other angle, it doesn't look bad, except that angle. That angle looks a little. Oh, I see what it is. It's this here. Try smoothing it. That's a good trick. I'm gonna go a little further than normal because I don't want that to stick out. Maybe I should just pull this area out. I think I'm trying to see what's gonna make it kind of not do that. Hmm. It's just a little slight indentation here. Let me just try getting rid of that altogether. Could just be the way I shaped it. I'm not really sure. I mean, it looks fine every other angle. It's just this little area sticks out a little bit too much. His feet are wider than my other characters. It's kind of like Incredible Hulk feet. It's got Incredible Hulk feet. Okay. Now, oh yeah, I remember what I was doing before I got distracted by that. We were going to do the tendons really quick, and then I think we're going to stop it here for now. Once I do that. I'm not sure where this stops. I guess it just goes all the way. I don't make it too deep. Now we're going to just try to cut in a little bit. Hopefully in the same spots as usual as before. Get those tendons in. Yeah, I'm trying. uh, let's see. This one isn't as pronounced. Just gonna need and we need them to kind of converge a little bit. We don't want to make them straight. I did that with the hands the other day, and I had to fix that. So this actually needs to be done again. I'm mining in No Man's Sky at the same time I missed you saying you were working on them. Oh yeah, yeah. I'm trying. Yeah, I'll have to play that again someday. I might start fresh though. Oh well. I kind of forget what I was doing. It's a good thing you got those. We got those waypoints in the little wormholes because I probably wouldn't even be able to find my base right now if it weren't for that stuff. And I think that stuff gets marked in the galaxy too, where your bases are. So I already know that's not gonna work. Just okay. We're gonna stuff that back. Okay. Now what I want to do is I'm gonna grab that again. I want to converge this line a little bit closer to the others, just slightly. We don't want it straight back. I should probably take this song out of my playlist. I'm not even sure if that is I think that might be actually licensed. That's from Peace Walker. Uh yeah. Now we can take the inflate brush and kind of make the peaks of the valleys a little bit more rounded. Just slightly, you know. Just ever so slightly. I'm gonna have to smooth it out because this is a little too prominent. Maybe just a little bit. Just gonna round them just a little bit. Okay. It's gonna smooth out what we just did, just so it has that texture there, but it's not super like deep into the foot. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna do that a little bit more. We'll kind of probably have more pronounced as they go as you know it goes forward, you know, towards the front, more pronounced in the front than the back, but just want to smooth out the back a little bit more than the front. We have that there. It's a little better. The toes are still a little mangled, but we're gonna fix them. The shape is there. We just gotta, you know, just render them out a little bit better. But we got feet. Got feet. Is there anything else here that I can do? Hmm. Still think his calves are a little too big, but we'll have to worry about that. That's a fight for next week. I do believe. I do declare. That's something that we're going to have to fix next week. Actually, no, I might be able to fix it now. Let me see. At least tweak them a little bit. I just want to, you know, since they're rounded, I want to work on them in a rounded fashion, you know, try to keep that rounded shape. So we're just going to go around and just slowly push in the calves as we go around them. Hopefully, we'll get them down to a more proportionate size. Because right now he's got Popeye arms for calves, and we don't want that. Has anyone ever done that? I mean, you know, they have a guy in Street Fighter named Luke. He has He has really big forearms. He's basically Popeye. He's on the front cover, so you don't have to really search too well. Just look at the Street Fighter 6 cover, and you'll see how big his freaking arms are. They're bigger than his biceps. His forearms are. But I wonder if there's a character out there that did that for calves. Like his calves are just larger than his thighs. I don't think anyone's ever done that, unless it's like maybe like maybe a disorder. Like I don't know, the People Eater from Fury Road or Furiosa, because he's in that too. I think he has like an elephantitis leg or something like that. He has to bind one leg together. Or just like a really, really obese person in general. And it kind of like has more of a more straighter leg. It's not, straight all the way down like a tree trunk, but you know what I'm saying. But I wonder if anyone's ever made a character where it was just the calves that were way bigger than everything else on the leg. All right, let's see. Let's see. Let's take a look at how the calves are now. They look a little better. Just need to be smoothed out. I have to bring his hips out some too, which means I got to do the underwear. That's going to be off stream. Anything near that region, I have to fix it off stream. I don't want Twitch to get mad at me. Okay, I do. Like I said, it's pretty fun. So I like doing it. I like doing this. So I want to continue doing it. I want Twitch to ban me. Let's see. What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? All right. So the thigh is a little too straight. Maybe we can bring out the back of the thigh some. I don't want to do too much here because I'm going to have to remake the underwear anyway. But I don't want to adjust the leg and the anywhere near the butt or the crotch too much because I'd rather do that with the underwear off, and I got to do that off stream so I can see it, so I can see what's going on. A little more rounded. I'm trying to make the thigh a little bit more rounded in the front. Now, see if we can adjust it horizontally. Just ever so slightly. Still gonna have to do the top, but it's a little better. We're gonna have to adjust the shoulders and the head, and maybe the length of the arms too. Even though I shortened them, I think maybe they are a little too short. But we got a whole body finally. He's been an amputee for so long. Now he's got an entire body. Just gotta adjust the proportions, and we're good. Well, not an amputee, just didn't have any legs. But yeah, we gotta adjust the head, and then that means the eyes by extension. And then while we're doing that, I gotta do the eyelids, all of that, and maybe the arm length. Gotta probably make them slightly longer anyway, just in case. But we're almost to the point where we can start the low poly mesh. Let's see, we grab a Y, we hit Y for the orthographic view. I think the calves still need some slight adjustments. Let's see here. Yeah, it's a little too out. Like this. Let's bring them in. Let's get a little closer. All right, working on them super zoomed out. Okay. I'm gonna grab his Achilles tendon and pinch them a little bit closer towards the top there. I'm just gonna work on each area at the same time, like one side and then the other immediately. All right, so I gotta remake the underwear because we changed some of his body. But yeah, the next tweaks will be closer to the upper portion, I guess. All right, that's what we got so far. To save it. All right, I want to thank everybody who stopped by today. Really appreciate it. I appreciate those who watched the VOD and the YouTube archive. We're going to continue this on Monday. I will be back on Monday, and I hope to see you there. I might do a gaming stream sometime between now and then. So, but we'll see. That's kind of tentative. But I will see you on Monday. I hope you have a great rest of your week. And if I don't see you anywhere near the weekend, I hope you have a great weekend as well. If I do stream, it will be a game, most likely Shadow Hearts. But take care for now.